A covering was applied to it. As they entered, Bob and I were clasped hands. He warned, "Just hold out for the laugh. What if there isn't one?" I inquired. Afterwards, the screen reverted to its original position, the viewers beheld the sheets, and they departed. Suzanne Plechette's beauty captivated audiences with her sharp eyes, deep voice, and irresistible charisma. She was never a glitzy Hollywood starlet, but her charisma was undeniable. Her stellar career included unforgettable roles in shows like The Birds and The Bob Newhart Show, but beneath the glitter of Hollywood, there was a life bereft of predictability, a marriage that started out perfect but ended up falling apart in a matter of months, a romance novel about a woman who finally gets to meet the man she's loved her entire life, the one she's been apart from for so long, a love that lasted a lifetime but was overshadowed by many tragedies, including infertility and the death of the man she loved most from a terrible illness. Nonetheless, Suzanne was never one to let setbacks derail her. Even when she was sick or sad, she maintained a strong sense of self-confidence. The truth about her, though, the aspects of her life that Hollywood omitted, is little known. Once you locate them, Suzanne Pleshette will take on a whole new meaning. Dear Suzanne, Pleshette was born on January 31, 1937, in Brooklyn, New York, into a family where art was more than just a profession, it was every aspect of daily life. Her Jewish parents' family tree began in Russia and continued in Austria-Hungary. Their love story endured a lifetime, despite meeting and getting married in just 2 weeks. Her mother, Geraldine Rivers, was a dancer on stage, and her father, Eugene Pleshette, was the Paramount Theater's stage manager before becoming a TV industry heavyweight. Suzanne displayed her talent immediately after being born in front of an audience. What really set her apart, though, was not just her talent, but also her tenacity and ambition. Unusually for a child her age, she had no problem performing in front of large audiences. The High School of Performing Arts is the birthplace of Hollywood's A-listers, so she followed her heart and enrolled there. But she had a bumpy road ahead of her. At first, she enrolled at Syracuse University, but she soon realized it wasn't the proper fit. After she decided to drop out, she enrolled at Finch College. She discovered her true passion at the Neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater. Sanford Meisner, widely regarded as one of Hollywood's most influential acting teachers, was her instructor there. Compulsion, Suzanne Plechette's debut Broadway production, was based on the real-life tale of the horrifying American historical couple, Leopold and Loeb. From the moment she stepped onto the stage, Suzanne demonstrated the emotional depth necessary to perform in a production of this kind. Shows such as The Cold Wind and the Warm, Golden Fleece, and The Miracle Worker allowed her to showcase her talent even more. It wasn't all roses, though. On the set of Gypsy, she came incredibly close to landing the role of Louise. Sandra Church's singing voice was better, so she didn't get the job. While the loss of Suzanne's acting job would have been tragic for most people, it served as a catalyst for her to seek out new opportunities. Her first television appearance was in the 1957 film Harbor Master, 1957. Although it was anticipated, the change was substantial. If Suzanne wanted to become famous, she knew she had to do more than work on Broadway. This decision yielded immediate results. She made her Emmy debut in 1962 on the popular medical drama Dr. Kildare, where she played the role of Julie Lawler. The nomination was a huge deal for Suzanne Pleshette, but it was also a signal from the entertainment industry that she was someone to watch. Suzanne Pleshette had a stellar acting career that culminated in roles that catapulted her to Hollywood stardom after years of honing her craft on stage and television. She co-starred with Troy Donahue in the 1962 romantic drama Rome Adventure, which was her breakthrough role. His real-life marriage to Donahue was a direct result of the movie's success in attracting audiences, but Suzanne was realistic enough to know that she needed more than just love movie roles to build a sustainable career. Alfred Hitchcock knew Suzanne would be perfect for The Birds the moment he laid eyes on her in 1963. Despite not being the main attraction, Her portrayal of Annie Hayworth was remarkable. Annie left an impression with her low voice, reflective expression, and hidden melancholy. She refrained from using dramatic flourishes and explosions. Since Hitchcock was notoriously selective about the leading ladies he cast, the fact that Suzanne was cast in this role is a testament to her talent. Once again, Suzanne proved her mettle in challenging films like The Birds, which went on to become a classic of Alfred Hitchcock's canon. She continued to star in famous films such as the 1966 Steve McQueen vehicle Nevada Smith and the 1971 Western comedy Support Your Local Gunfighter. But Suzanne's real breakthrough came in television, not in film. She achieved her professional pinnacle at that point. She had guest starred on numerous critically acclaimed series by the late 1960s, including The Fugitive, Columbo, Dr. Kildare, and The Wild Wild West. In addition to the unique part, she had a brief romance with David Janssen, the protagonist. While those roles did help launch her career, it was her tenure from 1972 to 1978 on The Bob Newhart Show that truly established her as a television icon. Not only did Suzanne enliven Emily Hartley's role with her charisma, but she also gave the character wit and intelligence. She was a key cog in the wheel that kept the show turning, and she was just a background wife. The way Emily managed her marriage to her husband and her quick wit won her many fans. The role was significant in solidifying Suzanne's place in the TV industry, as she was nominated for 2 Emmys. Despite leaving the Bob Newhart Show, she wasn't finished yet. One of the most shocking events in television history occurred in 1990 at the end of the Newhart 1982-1990 season when Suzanne unexpectedly appeared. The scene opens with Bob Newhart waking up next to Emily Hartley, a character from Suzanne's former show. It became clear that the entire experience in Newhart had been an illusion. The media lauded the astute turn of events, while the public was shocked. It was a fitting conclusion that demonstrated Suzanne's long-lasting impact on American television. Well into her retirement years, Suzanne continued to put in long hours at her job. Will and Grace was her final TV appearance, in which she played Lois Whitley. Not only that, but she also dabbled in speech acting. She was nominated for the prestigious Annie Award, given to the Best Animated Voice Actress, for her portrayal of Zira in The Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, 1998. Despite the fact that Suzanne was merely portraying the antagonist in a cartoon film, she managed to bring the character to life by giving him an edge. The components that make up Suzanne Pleshette. So, what stands out to you the most? It was either the mysterious Annie Hayworth from The Birds or the clever and humorous Emily Hartley from The Bob Newhart Show. Is there anything else she did that left an impression on you? Give us an example of the role that Suzanne Pleshette has played that you really enjoyed, whether it was on Broadway, in Hollywood, on television, or in an animated film. Suzanne Pleshette left her imprint. Even though Suzanne Plechette's professional life was flourishing, her personal life wasn't as solid as everyone would have assumed. Even the most idyllic love stories can take a tragic turn in Hollywood. Her connection with Troy Donahue exemplified this perfectly. It Is Everything first appeared in 1962's Rome Adventure. Their idyllic romance in Italy seemed like something out of a dream in the film. Even away from the screen, the attraction was strong. At the time, Troy Donahue was among the most alluring leading men in Hollywood. He was a hero to the teens because of his gorgeous smile and golden locks. In contrast, Suzanne's sharp beauty and intelligent personality made her stand out. When they announced their marriage on January 4, 1964, fans believed it was a real-life fairy tale because of how well they worked together on screen. However, their marriage lasted less than 8 months before they divorced. Their breakup was the subject of several articles in the media. 2 famous people were married for a brief period. Reading about stars was always a thrill. People were even more captivated by the question of what really happened that arose. Truthfully, their initial differences were too great. Suzanne came from a creative family that valued stability and had high expectations for themselves. Classic furnishings, candlelit dinners, and fine wine were her favorite things in life. But Troy Donahue was content and carefree all his life. Rather than enjoying a meal at a fine restaurant, he preferred to stroll around the city. There was a clear chasm in their worldviews and values revealed by their differences, which extended far beyond simple habits. They might have been able to keep the marriage going if their arguments had been limited to their lifestyle choices. The true cause of its rapid decline was accusations of cheating. Speculation began almost immediately after Troy Donahue and Suzanne tied the knot that he was having an affair with actress Connie Stevens. Their relationship, according to some of their close friends and family, was more than just a rumor. If this is the case, Suzanne may have decided to end the marriage after just a few months. Suzanne was also mentioned in these reports. She never did anything inappropriate in public, unlike Troy, but rumors circulated that she liked the seasoned actor Glenn Ford. The already fragile marriage took a nosedive as suspicions mounted. Ultimately, it was Suzanne who stopped everything. Neither violent altercations nor shocking news items occurred. Despite her knowledge that they were never meant to be together, she made the decision to end the relationship instead of staying in a toxic one. Neither anger nor guilt washed over her as she reflected on what had transpired. Our values differed, and although Troy was a decent man, I do not believe we should have been married. He taught me to laugh, so I don't feel guilty about it. Their marriage came to a swift end, but it left a lasting impression. Suzanne, was that love ever something you truly believed in? Is it true that you cheated Troy Donahue? How did Connie Stevens factor into this narrative? None of these questions were ever satisfactorily addressed. Suzanne moved on from this chapter of her life, even though nobody knew the truth. Troy Donahue attempted multiple marriages after the breakup, but he was never truly happy in any of them. He wed 3 more times, but each marriage ended as abruptly and tragically as his marriage to Suzanne. His career swiftly declined as his prime years slipped away. As time passed, Hollywood largely disregarded him. He is no longer cast in major roles and instead appears in supporting parts of underappreciated films. Although his private life improved, the once loved star became a distant memory due to his struggles with alcoholism. Even though he was once a major star in Hollywood, Troy Donahue never got over the path he took. While this was happening, Suzanne Pleshette continued on with her life. The subsequent events were even more astounding. After a brief marriage to Troy Donahue, Suzanne Pleshette met Thomas Joseph Gallagher III. She did not immediately begin a new relationship. Thomas Joseph Gallagher Jr. and Toy Fa Rice welcomed their son into the world on January 28, 1934, in Galveston, Texas. He was an unassuming, steady, and private oil industry tycoon, not an actor or Hollywood star. Gallagher was more than just a life partner to Suzanne. He provided stability in the midst of the world's glitz and mayhem. True tranquility was elusive.